Right now, a busy evening at the State House. Over 100 people have gathered for and against several bills up for consideration tonight.
Lawmakers are set to discuss gun control. One bill would create a red flag law to prevent gun violence. Another would ban bump stocks. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado is live at the State House right now with the very latest. Steph?
Well, the committee hearing where these votes will take place is about to start any second now. You can actually see behind me, there's a line to get into the State House still. There's been a line for a couple hours here. You can see some folks in yellow shirts holding American flags. Those are gun rights supporters. There's a lot of bills up for consideration tonight, so that's a lot of the folks that are in line to get in through security here. Now, folks who want more gun control are hoping these two bills that are up for a vote tonight are just the start of a number of gun bills that they're supporting this session. The gun rights supporters are concerned about exactly that. The Rhode Island Second Amendment Coalition handing out shirts and pins reading "Gun control doesn't work" before a House Judiciary Committee vote on the red flag bill and a ban on bump stocks. The red flag bill aimed at taking guns away from people deemed a danger to themselves or others when police are told of concerning red flags.
It will prevent something like a Parkland from happening.
Linda Finn with the Rhode Island Coalition Against Gun Violence says the goal is to stop mass shootings, suicides, and other gun tragedies before they happen by creating a new extreme risk protective order in the court system.
It just gives the police and the courts a little bit more leeway to remove weapons from somebody who might be dangerous.
Our concerns mirror the ACLU. It's too broad. It does violate due process.
Frank Sicoccio with the Second Amendment Coalition, which is the state's NRA affiliate, says his group is concerned law-abiding citizens will have their guns taken away before they've done anything wrong.
A police officer is going to go in front of a judge and say, I think this person's a danger in my opinion. The judges are going to err on the side of caution. They're going to grant that.
The second bill getting a vote tonight, a ban on bump stocks, devices that can make semi-automatic weapons fire as fast as automatic ones. And the Second Amendment Coalition opposes that bump stock ban bill as well. Now, both of these bills being considered by House Judiciary tonight have the support of the House Speaker and the Senate President. That vote scheduled to happen any minute now, and we'll let you know on Eyewitness News as soon as that happens. Now, there are three other gun bills this session whose fates are more unknown. That includes the assault weapons ban, the ban on high-capacity magazines, and a bill to keep guns out of schools. Those bills will get a hearing in this same Judiciary Committee later this month. Live at the State House, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
Developing right now at the Rhode Island State House, people on both sides of the gun debate are awaiting a House committee vote on a pair of gun-related bills.
Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado joins us live from the State House now with the very latest. Steph?
Well, the Judiciary Committee is discussing the red flag bill right now. It's one of two bills slated to be voted on tonight. They were close to a vote when I stepped out of the committee room a few moments ago. Now, the red flag bill would allow courts to take guns away from people deemed a danger to themselves or others in order to try to avoid gun violence. And there's lots of folks here on both sides of this issue. The gun rights supporters have been chanting on and off in the hallway as they await this vote. They've been chanting, "Our vote counts," presumably referencing the November election when many of these lawmakers will be up for election. They do not want this bill to pass, the red flag bill. They believe it will be taking away their Second Amendment rights. Let's hear from folks on both sides of this issue right now.
Now when you go in front of a judge, you're going to have a police officer saying, we did an investigation, this person's a danger. You're going to have to hire an attorney, go to court, and what, prove that you're okay? That's not something that we have in a free society.
Well, I do understand that it may, appear that it's taking away someone's rights. I think that on the other side of the equation is that, do we really want to not have this law where we're really opening ourselves up to, mass shootings because we're not able to prevent them?
So yeah, proponents of this bill believe it could prevent mass shootings, it could prevent suicides, it could prevent other gun-related tragedies. But there are lots of folks here who support the Second Amendment who are very concerned that guns could be taken away from law-abiding citizens under this red flag bill. Now again, the committee is about to vote on this bill. They did say that they have made a change to it, that only a law enforcement agency would be able to refer this petition to a court for one of these extreme risk protection orders to take a gun away from someone So that's a change in the bill. They're also scheduled to vote on a bill to ban bump stocks, again, in the House Judiciary Committee tonight. In fact, probably any minute now. So I'm going to get back in there. We'll have an update for you at 6:30 over on Fox Providence about these gun bills. Live at the State House, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.